I wanted to talk briefly, very briefly, about emoting into video. One detail that I see repeated over and over and over again in your videos and a lot of people's videos is that you forget that this medium requires you to kind of amp everything up a little bit more than what's probably your normal delivery. Look at my hands gesticulating and all that. When I'm talking normally to other people, I still use my hands, but not this much. And one other difference is I'm very vividly aware of this frame. I'm making sure that I have everything such that I'm paying attention to the frame. I'm looking at the lens, which means I'm looking at your eyes, and I'm paying attention. But what I'm also doing, and this is where it gets important, is I'm emoting. I could talk to you about the data. I could just say, it's really important to emote. Emoting's good. You should emote. But in video, you're performing, whether or not you want to. So one thing, notice a difference in how I was talking. When I just kind of talk normal, one of the things I do is there's not really many pauses. It's just kind of walking along and getting the words out as fast as I get the words out. When I'm performing, there's a few more kind of clear pauses, and I'm doing a little bit more enunciation, and I'm changing and validating and varying all the different pieces of the words so that you can catch up, See what I'm saying? So I'm trying to keep it audibly interesting. I'm trying to keep the energy level high because that's what we respond to in video. I don't know how many times I've seen some of my friends talking on video and they seem sort of like they're just being held at gunpoint. No one wants it. And so you have to deliver. Is it fake? Well, it's performing. It's producing. It's creating something for someone. It's not fake. It's just a way of kind of making sure that everything gets pushed forward a little bit, notches it up. You do this kind of thing when you make a selfie. You might image adjust a little. You might, wipe out a zit or something. You might whiten your teeth. Who knows? Do the same with your video. Produce. Another thing, backgrounds and stuff like that. This is not a great background. I mean, that shoe thing on the door is not very impressive, but I'll show you something else I had going on. I had this door open behind me. That visually makes you go, what's in that room? That's the bathroom, by the way. It's the only room technically in the house. The other one's a closet. There's another closet off camera. This is the kitchen. It's all one big space. But with that door open, your eye unfortunately goes, I'm going back there, see what's behind him. And I'll tell you another one. I'm not doing a perfect job of this, but that little, I'm trying to keep that hidden with my head because it's another thing that you're going to look at. So when you're creating a background for your presentation, you have to pay attention to that as well. But we're talking mostly about voice and emoting. But I wanted you to feel and understand how this all connects because you're not just delivering the information. You have to amp things up a little. You have to push. Now listen, this is coming from a guy who deals with mild clinical depression. My normal energy level is like, ooh. But if I don't deliver like this, then you don't pay attention. I learned some of this from watching some of my friends and my kids' YouTube videos. My kids watch these people who, when they get excited, they shout and they scream. Every single one of these people must have all kinds of noise cancellation foam around their studios where they're playing their games. Because if I were their neighbor and I heard these people screaming like someone was murdering them all the time, it would be deadly. I mean, they have to live in single houses. They can't live in a factory building like me, that's for sure. But I can tell you that in their video, when they get a, cool ass kill from 200 something meters out and they go, ah, I can't even pretend to yell as loud as they yell. It is so much more energized than boop. I just totally meant to do that. Oh, but Chris, I'm not that kind of person. I don't emote normally. Well, I'm not asking you not to be normal, but I am asking you to be like you plus. Can you be just a little more you for the video? So if you're super quiet and super non-emotive, be just a little more emotive. That's going to help a lot. I just wanted to put this out there. I wanted you to have this to think about because I thought it might be helpful to you. Anytime you have questions, chris@chrisbrogan.com. I'm here to help.